October 8, 2015, Indonesia officially accepted Singapore's offer to assist in the firefighting efforts. The next day, a contingent of 40 personnel, 34 from the SAF and 6 from the SCDF's Disaster Assistance and Rescue Team, assembled at Sembawang Air Base and Palembang Air Base.
This is what we actually trained for, and we were actually excited and looking forward to the mission and the safe completion of the operations. It was during my son's O-level period. My family was quite concerned, but after that they understood the need for us to launch and provided full support for me to deploy.
Due to poor visibility in Indonesia, the flight was delayed. On the morning of October 10, the skies cleared and the contingent departed for Palembang in South Sumatra.
Even before we touched down, we could smell the smoke. So people were gearing up with the masks inside the cabin itself. We were very well prepared for that. Our home medical team actually gave us additional stock of Haze-related medications, and this came in very handy as the detachment personnel felt the effects of the haze on the very first day.
The Singapore contingent was part of a multinational effort to mitigate the regional haze. Coordinating the whole operation was the Indonesian National Board for Disaster Management, while the Indonesian Air Force served as host for the foreign firefighting teams. Expectedly, the haze was severe at their destination. Just a week before the contingent arrived, the Air Quality Index, or AQI in short, had exceeded 1,000. Put into context, an AQI of more than 300 is considered hazardous. But our servicemen and women were unfazed. They put on their N95 masks and commenced the operation. The Chinook and the 5,000-litre heli bucket were the main assets used in the operation. No effort was spared to ensure that both were fully operational. The heli bucket came with a control unit that allowed an operator to open or close the valve at the bucket's base. This control unit had to be mounted inside the Chinook, and tests were run to check if the system was working. With the discovery of new hotspots, the firefighting team had to adjust the plans accordingly. Daily briefings kept the team updated on the specifics of each sortie, such as any changes to the area of operations. On October 11, the contingent launched its first sortie. The area of operations was located east of Palembang and measured almost 10 by 10 nautical miles in size. It comprised primarily open plains, farmlands, plantations, and forests. Due to the prolonged dry season and high temperature, a small fire could start spontaneously almost anywhere, escalating quickly to a raging wildfire. Simply put, the entire place was a potential hotspot.
Definitely visibility was one of the main concerns because of the severe haze. We functioned as a crew. Everybody was given sectors to perform our lookout duties. We made sure that we kept within our training minimas to carry out the mission safely and efficiently. At the same time, we also were very vigilant on what the aircraft was doing, as well as what other aircraft in the area were also doing.
The size of the area of operations also posed another challenge for the contingent. The great distance between the airbase and the hotspots made it impractical for the heli bucket to be deployed prior to taking off. The firefighting team had to land the Chinook out in the field to deploy the bucket, exposing the crew to the hazardous environment.
All of us in the aircraft facing such terrain and haze, and we look out for each other, our safety, and make sure everyone is well equipped before we disembark from the aircraft to do our operation in the ground.
With the heli bucket securely coupled to the Chinook, the crew proceeded with the waterbombing operation. A few challenges immediately presented themselves. While the pilot controlled the altitude and the swing of the bucket by moving the Chinook, he could not see the bucket from the cockpit. Also, the dense plumes of smoke drastically reduced visibility to the hotspots and other aircraft that might be in the vicinity. And once again, the crew's training, coordination and teamwork were put to the test.
In underlying missions, the pilot responds to our pattering from the cabin to pick up the load that is below the aircraft. So it's something that we train for on a daily basis. So we're actually conversant with what each other does so that we know what we want the aircraft to do and how to pick out the water from the water source.
With the hotspot extinguished, the Chinook returned to the airbase after a successful waterbombing sortie. For the ground crew standing by, however, the work had just begun. The Chinook had to be serviced at regular intervals to be kept operational at all times. The hazy conditions also imposed additional stress on the various components, such as the jet engines.
Because of the haze, we had to improvise and perform the engine compressor clean on a daily basis after the flight. It's very amazing how elements so different, so diverse can work together seamlessly to achieve our one common mission.
The most important thing I feel was to actually get to know each aircrew and ground crew so that they put their trust in you as a doctor or as a medical health professional there to give the right advice and institute any measures which will only benefit them and their health.
I'm currently serving my NS and I hope to contribute something while serving national service. I think that is a rare opportunity and a good learning experience.